Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm excited to do, it's going to be a new Chatty Get Ready With Me. I have some new products to show you in this video, like the Charlotte Tilbury Cream Bronzer. I also did just get in the new Mega Palette from Colourpop. This is the Gettin Fresh palette, so I'm going to be using this one today. And I am going to be giving a little update from one of my last Get Ready With Me's where I was talking about some health concerns that I have. I have gotten a few of my lab results back, and I'm just going to be talking about what that meant to me and how I'm going to try to implement some changes into my life, and subsequently how that will also affect my YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, welcome. So I'm just gonna jump right in. I'm gonna use the Tatcha Liquid Silk Primer, one of my favorites. And like I said, just chatting about some of my lab results. I don't have everything in yet that I was testing with, but if you did miss my last video, I can link it up in the cards here and in the description box. But basically I was talking about having some problems, especially with like weight gain, bloating, fatigue, extreme exhaustion, brain fog, all of that, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I felt like I was doing all of the right things, like working out, I was eating a lot better than I had been, my water intake was good, like I was just like, I'm not sure what's going on. And of course, I think, especially as women, we all want to blame ourselves first, and we're the problem, and we're not working out enough, we're not eating well enough, we're drinking too much, we're having too much Starbucks, whatever it may be. And I was like, no, I think something's like actually really wrong. And so I did go to my OBGYN here for my physical. They did some labs, they said everything was fine, they were like, deuces. And I went to a primary care doctor, and she did raise a few red flags with my labs. She said I was deficient in a few different areas, such as vitamin D, but she was like, I think we should run some more labs on you, but you know, your insurance won't cover it till a few months down the road, so just see you then. I was like, okay. I'm gonna use the Milani Glow. I have the shade 210. This is their skin tint. I just did a video all about my favorite drugstore products right now. There's some dupes in there, so I can link that one. But I did mention this Milani foundation, and I think that it is so, so good. So I'm just gonna use a DSMD shop sponge. I, of course, will have everything linked in my description box. So after that, I wasn't really sure what to do, and I'd been keeping pretty quiet about this, and I had a friend at the complex when I finally started talking about it, because I was embarrassed. I didn't feel well a lot of the times. It was really, really hard for me to eat because I would instantly feel super bloated. I would feel super full, just uncomfortable. My clothes weren't fitting. I was like, I just don't know what's going on here. And when I finally shared it with a friend, he referred me to a naturopathic doctor, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna give this a shot because no one else is helping me. Every other doctor is just turning me away and saying like, you either need to see someone else, you need to come back later. So I was like, this isn't really working. So I had a really good experience with the naturopathic doctor. She really listened to me. She asked me all kinds of questions. It was incredibly thorough, and I left feeling really positive, like at least I was doing something, at least, you know, all these different labs were ordered. I felt like this was gonna get me down the right path, at least to getting some answers as to what was going on. So I did have some of my labs come in. So most of the labs that I had drawn were like hormone related, that sort of thing. And I do want to say that there's 3 red flags. When I got my lab results back, there was 3 that were marked in red. There was exclamation points beside them. Like they were really letting me know like, this is what's up. I'm gonna focus really on one today for this video, mostly because it's the one that I was kind of suspecting. It was one that I've looked into a lot on my own. One of them I've never even heard of before. The other one is cholesterol. I've kind of always battled with cholesterol since I was 18. I really want to focus on my cortisol levels, and that's what I want to talk about in today's video. But I have not had my follow-up appointment. Like my labs just came in 2 days before I'm filming this. So I haven't had my follow-up yet with my doctor, so I haven't gotten her point of view and what she thinks I should do next. I just want to talk about kind of how, in my reaction, how it felt getting these lab results back and what I feel like it means for me and the changes that I'm gonna try to make. And of course, with these videos, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. The biggest thing that I always say when I talk about this is do your own research, because everyone is so different. I will say though, on my last video talking about health struggles, it was really overwhelming to read the comments of how many other women are struggling with something similar. But on top of that, how many women are getting turned away by healthcare. And just be like, the amount of women that said, my doctor just said it's age, it's age, it's age. I just won't accept that, because I know that things change as we age, but why is that? What's going on? And what do we need to change? What do we need to adjust? What do we need to do? Because our bodies are changing with age and our hormones are changing with age. Like, it can't just be age, deuces. Like, I just don't believe that. And I actually told a story. I'm gonna get off on a tangent real quick. I'm gonna use the Dominique Cosmetics Wide Awake Concealer in Frappuccino. I've been really liking this one with like the metal cooling applicator. I showed it in a last Get Ready With Me as well. But I shared this, that when I was like 27, I started having intense pain in my left arm. It was painful to close a car door, balance the purse on me. I went to a doctor. He gave me an exam and he came back and he asked how old I was, and I said 27, and he said, yeah, this is just something that happens when the calendar keeps flipping. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you're just gonna have to live with this. Like, I can give you some exercises to do and some stretches to do, but it's just gonna be something that you have to deal with. You can't practice, because at that time, I think maybe I was still running my fitness Instagram. He's like, you can't practice yoga in the same way. You can't do arm balances. Like, you can't put a lot of pressure on that arm. And I left thinking, oh my God, I feel like I have a broken arm and I have to live this way for the rest of my life. And I went to a chiropractor, and I'd been going for, you know, neck and shoulders. And one day he said, is there anything else that I can help you with? And I said, you probably can't, but like my arm. Turns out I had a pinched nerve, and like something was like out of the socket. So it took a few treatments, and we did, like, I remember I had these like things like stuck on my body and like all these different treatments and like a machine that like vibrated. But after a few treatments, my arm was completely fine. Completely fine. So I'm just like, I just don't buy when I get told, oh, it's just your age. There could be a root cause. And of course, everyone is different and there's different situations, obviously. But in my case with this, I'm like, I just don't believe that every time I eat, I need to feel nauseous and sometimes physically throw up. Like, I can't believe I'm gonna have to live my life like that. Is it food? Is it like hormones? What is it? There has to be a reason, right? So I was like, no, I'm not gonna give up on this. If there's anything that I learned from posting that first video and seeing so many comments and people saying like, I'm still trying to get help, I'm still, you know, searching, is that we really do have to advocate for ourselves. And once again, especially as women, and I feel like our bodies are so much more complex, and I feel like there just hasn't been the time and energy put into women's healthcare as there has been into men's healthcare. Besides, don't even get me started on Roe v. Wade. Like, that's where our focus is. That's where it is. So just keep standing up for yourself, keep trying, keep asking around. You know, I wish that I would have brought this up sooner, but I was so embarrassed because I thought it was me, and I thought, wow, I'm just like, I'm gaining weight, I look different, my face looks different, I feel like I must be lazy, I feel like I'm doing something wrong, I feel like I just genuinely thought it was me, and I wasn't saying anything. And then I look back, I'm like, if I just would have said something when I'd noticed the symptoms coming on, I could have probably gotten help a lot sooner. But I was able to get these labs drawn, and when I looked at it, like I said, I have high cholesterol, which that's actually what got me very first started into health and fitness back when I was a senior in high school. That's when I really started to pay more attention to food. I cut out fast food, I cut out soda, I started going on walks with my mom every night. I started getting into Pilates. I would rent out these Pilates DVDs. Stayed with me for a really long time. Like I said, I used to run a fitness Instagram account. It used to be all focused on yoga. I've always been very heavily into health and fitness because I realized making little changes when I was younger made me feel so much better. There's one that is hormone related as well that I've actually never even heard of. I really just don't want to talk too much about it because I don't really have a lot of information. But when I looked into it, and when I looked into like what happens if this level is, I think it was high, one of the main symptoms is infertility. And I did go through, I was not able to get pregnant with my ex-husband. We went down a whole fertility path, and that kind of stuck out to me. I was like, oh wow. What I want to focus on today is my cortisol levels. And these came back extremely high. And when I saw that in red, the exclamation points, and I looked at the number and I looked at the range, I was like, okay, well, that's fantastic. What's funny is I had started thinking this already. And when I was talking to some of my friends, I kept saying, I was like, I think something is hormone related, is stress related. I think it's something to do. I was like, I just have a gut feeling that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. And so I see high cortisol and I'm like, I am not surprised. So I'm just doing like a quick Google search. Again, do your own research, talk to your own doctor. But what are the symptoms of high cortisol? Weight gain, mostly around the midsection, upper back. Weight gain and rounding of the face. Other ones are severe fatigue, irritability, difficulty concentrating, headache. So I'm just reading off WebMD right now, but it says, think of cortisol as nature's built-in alarm system. It is your body's main stress hormone. It works with certain parts of your brain to control your mood, motivation, and fear. So cortisol plays an important role in a number of things your body does, manages how your body uses carbohydrates, fats, proteins, keeps inflammation down, regulates your blood pressure, and increases your blood sugar, controls your sleep-wake cycle, boosts energy so you can handle stress and restore balance afterward. So when I was doing research about cortisol, the thing that I kept seeing over and over again was stress, 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 stress. And I was like, you don't say. So I am gonna pause real quick. This is the new Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. So I got the shade medium, and I did try this out. I have first impressions both on Instagram and TikTok, March Beauty Word by Samantha March, but I did want to use it on camera here. This is gonna be my third time using it. I tried it with a brush and a sponge in my first impressions, and I like it with the sponge more. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start to tap in. But it was really easy to build up, and it's really easy to blend out, and it looked more natural than I was thinking when I saw the shade. I was like, oh, I don't know if that's going to work out for me. But so far, so good on the bronzer. Is it gonna be worth $55? I'm gonna give it a few more shots, but so far I really do enjoy it. I just think $55 is so high for a bronzer. Like if you can get it at a discount, like that's such an awesome thing, but we'll see. So far, I found it really easy to use. So I'm thinking about this. I'm looking at the symptoms. There's obviously a lot that matches. You know, my labs show that it is the case. They sent me like what's the high range. Mine is even over that. I'm like, oh no. And I'm thinking, you know, stress, because I'm like, I'm really not that stressed. Like, yeah, I work a lot, but like, I think I do a good job managing it. And then I look back and I'm like, Samantha, you've been through a lot, girlfriend. You moved from, like in Iowa, we moved from Des Moines to my ex-husband's hometown. It was a move I didn't necessarily want to do. I wasn't really looking forward to it. A move that I always knew was gonna happen. I knew that Mitch was gonna join his family business one day. It was just like, I wasn't quite ready to leave Des Moines yet. It's really hard to fit in. Like, I never felt like I fit in with Iowa. Then I'm trying to move to this really small town and integrate myself into the lifelong friendships that are already there. It was a really big struggle for me. COVID-19 happened. Obviously that was a struggle for everybody. We're still struggling with it. Mitch and I, you know, decided to try to get pregnant, and that wasn't happening naturally. And then I learned that my body didn't ovulate, and then I started going through all of these fertility treatments, and I was going to all these appointments, and I was going through the majority of it alone, which was also really hard. Then make the decision to divorce, then move from Iowa to Las Vegas, launch a business. 3 months after I moved to Las Vegas, I launched By Samantha March. Yeah, one could say that I'm stressed, and I've gone through a lot of changes recently, and a lot of changes all really close to one another. I think Mitch and I moved in April of 2019. And it's like, here we are 3 years later, and it's like, oh, now I'm struggling as more and more things keep getting added to that. And so when I stopped to reflect on that, I was like, okay, maybe that does make sense. And then also, if I break it down even smaller, I started noticing these symptoms back in October. October is when I really start to focus on what we call busy season, or at least what I call busy season. In December, we have Vlogmas where we upload videos every single day on YouTube. I run daily giveaways in December, which is a lot of stress. It's a lot of upkeep. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of going to the post office, packing orders, getting ready for the end of year videos, the wrap up videos. You're looking back at everything from the year prior. A lot of times you're doing collabs, you're trying to keep track of that. There's more sponsorship opportunities that come through at the end of the year. And then also running my own brand, I was running sales. You know, get your planners and help plan as we go into the new year. I was constantly busy. I mean, I was really doing nothing October through the beginning of January. One thing that I realized is that I don't think I ever slowed down my pace after busy season. I'm also going to use, in my Charlotte Tilbury order, I bought this too. This is the Lip and Cheek Glow in Color of Dreams. I'm going to use my sponge once again. I've used this before and I thought it was a really pretty blush color. Once again, Charlotte Tilbury just does a really good job making products that are really natural and buildable and easy to use. And with my makeup style and like me not being like naturally good at makeup and having to work sometimes a little bit harder, that's why I like the brand so much and so many of the products. Like I said, I get into routines very quickly. You know how they say if you do something 21 times, it's a habit? I swear to you, I need like 3 to 5 times and I get into a new routine. So having a couple months of working nonstop and just, that was what I did. I didn't have much of a social life at the end of the year. I was really so focused on work. My friends would be like, hey, we're doing this, we're doing that. I'm like, no, I have to work. No, I have to work. No, I have to work. And I think it's kind of funny because this was a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, maybe a month ago. One of my friends, when I turned down doing another thing, she was like, no offense, but I kind of was under the impression influencers didn't really work a whole lot. I think you work more than anyone here. And I was like, okay. Like, it's just funny because I did the video on brand trips and talked about that. I think there's so many misconceptions because this is such a new space. And I also think because it is so public, people are so quick to make their own assumptions and conceptions of what they think about someone's job and someone's life because you see a little part of them. You think that you can fill in all the other blanks you don't see. So it wasn't surprising to me to hear someone say that. But when she was like, I think you work more than anyone here, I was like, am I working too much? Like, am I having any sort of work-life balance? And that happens throughout the, like, I've done it before. I'm sure that I'll do it again. Sometimes work-life balance gets a little bit thrown off. Like, I mean, I would have these conversations with my ex-husband and he would tell me, you gotta leave your office at a certain time. You need to shut the door so you don't go in. So I'm looking back and I'm trying to reflect and I'm seeing the red flags and I'm understanding that I have been putting way too much pressure on myself, way too much stress on myself. Launching a business is extremely stressful. I think that is a huge, huge part of it. I don't think people realize how insanely difficult it is, all the legal hoops you're jumping through, all of the licensing that you need, all of, like, I've literally been on the phone with my lawyer every single day this week about licensing issues. It's been keeping me up at night because I've been so stressed about it. But also, even when it just comes to living life online, that is very stressful. Having people tear me apart every single day for whatever reason they can find. And if they can't find a reason, they'll make it up. Like, I remember, for example, one day I got a comment from someone saying, like, I can't believe Samantha March said this, da da da, and someone commented underneath and goes, but she never said that. And the original person said, well, she didn't say it, but you could tell that she implied it. And I was like, it doesn't even matter what we say anymore. If people want to think a certain way, they can just say now something like, well, they implied it. And it's utterly ridiculous. To go through something like a divorce online, it is hard to go through a move. Like, I knew that people were gonna give me flack online, but I don't know if I was really prepared for the type of comments that I was seeing about myself and my character going through that time. And then something like infertility, which I haven't fully, I am planning to do more of a video on that because I think it's important to talk about. But even something like that, like, it just opens the floodgates. People will attack you for whatever reason, and it puts a lot of stress and pressure. And I'm someone who, I really try to be engaged with my community. I try to be in my comment section as much as I can. I try to be answering as many DMs as I can, but I can't get to everybody. And then I see the comments of, you know, you don't respond to me, why don't you? You used to respond to me and now you're letting everything get to your head. Like, I literally see, you know, I see all the comments, I see everything. It ebbs and flows. There's times where I can really just brush off comments and be like, whatever. But when I'm struggling, and how I've been really struggling with health, it's been increasing my anxiety, it's been affecting so many different other areas of my life, not sleeping well, not eating well. I have cracks in my foundation, which means these comments they're easier to slither through right now. And when that happens, I need to be able to give myself grace to step back and say, you know what? I can't be in the comment section as much. I can't be in my DMs as much. I just can't do it. I need to protect myself right now. In a few months, when I'm stronger and I'm healthier, then I can get back, you know, to normal. But I need to be able to take a break right now, because I need to be able to focus on myself and my health and my mental health, my physical health and my mental health. Those are the most important things. So I'm realizing this, I'm understanding I need to make a change, and I need to make a change within my life. Understanding this, I'm seeing my stress points, I'm seeing that I'm overworking myself, I'm seeing that I'm putting too much pressure on myself. Once again, I want to point out, I have not had the follow-up with my doctor. I am not sure what she will recommend for my high cortisol. I don't know if it's going to be a supplement. You know, I kind of looked into that on my own. I have some ideas of maybe what she could recommend. But I wanted to get some ideas of what I could be doing, so I thought that I would share that here. If maybe it's something that you are struggling with, maybe you're noticing some of these symptoms, obviously I would always recommend to go get it checked before you just start making changes. I love that I made a list for this video, and I feel like I've gone all over the place, but I knew I would probably get like that, so I really wanted to make a list so I could remember like my key areas that I wanted to talk about. But I am going to use, before we pop into how I'm going to make changes, I'm going to use the Gettin Fresh palette. This is a part of the Resting Beach collection from Colourpop. I did get this in PR, which I was very excited about because I really wanted to try this out. It's definitely a very neutral palette. It's pretty peachy at the same time, but the shimmers look really pretty. There is what looks like a duochrome down here, but then there's these really fun greens, and I do love me some greens, and there's this fun pink. It reminds me of the In the Limelight palette. You know, this video isn't all focused on this palette, but if you'd want to see maybe a comparisons, because that's kind of my first thought, it reminds me a little bit of In the Limelight, but we'll see. I kind of want to use this green, is the one that's kind of sticking out to me. I got some Sonia G brushes as a gift, and these are so beautiful. So I'm going to use from Sonia G the Crease Pro, the shade Open. We're going to start with right here. So some of the first things that I saw when looking at high cortisol and what you can do to lower it, you know, one of the first things was more sleep and better quality sleep. And I was like, okay. I'd been mentioning that I've been staying up oftentimes until 1 a.m. editing my videos, still trying to wake up around 6. You know, I'm only getting 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours of sleep if I'm lucky. And a lot of times, I had mentioned in my live chat of how I would sleep with my phone next to me. It would be my alarm, it would be my alarm clock, but I would sleep with it next to me. And there'd be times where I'd get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, and I would check my phone for notifications. Like, I had become so obsessed with trying to stay on top of everything, comment section, just beauty news in general, that it was affecting my sleep horribly. And so this was something I noticed a couple of months ago. So I actually got a hatch, and I used the hatch to replace my phone as my alarm clock. So now I have my phone, I charge it at night, and I charge it in my bathroom away from me. I have the hatch on, which not only it plays like soothing sounds, but when it does go off at 6 o'clock in the morning, it starts with a light that gradually gets lighter and the noises come on again, and it's such a more peaceful way to wake up. And I just absolutely adore my hatch. I've talked about it in some other videos, but that was a really big thing for me of how to improve sleep. But obviously I'm like, okay, I need to do better, because now I've gotten into a habit of going to sleep so late at night, and this is not helping me. Obviously, another one on the list is eating better. There are some foods that are supposed to be able to help lower cortisol, so I've definitely been looking into that, but making changes with food has been something that I've been that I've been doing for several months now. I really cut down on fast food. I cut down, like, I really don't eat fast food anymore. I don't drink soda. I really cut down on how often I was going out to eat. You know, I moved to Las Vegas and it was so exciting. There was so much here, but I'm like, I don't have to go out to eat every single night, every single weekend. It's not necessary. I started cooking at home so much more. In my goal tracker that I have, I used to put dinners at home. Like, I want to do 3 a month, and now I've changed it to track how often I go out to eat, because they flipped so much that now I track how many times I go out to eat, because it's so much less than me making dinners at home. So I'm really, really proud of that. So obviously eating better, making sure I'm drinking enough water. I track my water on my planner. I have a tracker, the ones that I offer through BY SAMANTHA MARCH. I also use maybe one of the, like, this one has a little bit of a peachy tone too. It's like almost like skin tone. It's called Drama Class. I'm just gonna use the same and just kind of buff those shades into each other. Eating water intake, that's very important. Also decreasing alcohol and caffeine. So I'm not a big drinker, but there'd be times where it's like, oh, you know, we have a bar restaurant on our premises here. It'd be like, oh, you know, just one drink. But I'm like, I don't even need to have one drink. Like, I simply don't need to. And I track it on my goal tracker that I have for BY SAMANTHA MARCH. And it's typically Monday through Thursday, if not Monday through Friday, if not Sunday through Thursday, that I don't have any sort of alcohol. So I feel like that's, you know, just good for health in general. Also cutting down, like I said, I don't drink soda, but I would go to Starbucks, and I was going to Starbucks probably like 4 to 5 times a week, and it just became a routine of mine. It became normal on the way to the post office to drop off orders. I would grab Starbucks. I'm now down to maybe 2 times a week. Sometimes it's just 1, but sometimes I do 2 times a week. So definitely been cutting down on that as well, which is just good because that is caffeine and also sugar. A big change that I am making too is with fitness. Now, I never lost my love of fitness. Moving here, I still worked out very frequently. One thing, we do have a gym where I live, and I thought, I've never really joined it. I don't really like working out at gyms. You know, people, I'm like, I've always just done yoga in my own house, or before I moved, I got into a routine of doing a combination of yoga and Blogilates. I do Boho Beautiful for yoga and Blogilates, and then Blogilates has a YouTube channel. It's usually like Pilates, you know, cardio, but very like more like low impact usually. And then I would walk my dog every single day in Iowa. So that was what my workout was. And when I moved here and I saw this gym, I was like, ooh, I kind of want to try weightlifting. I'm gonna come in with that green, which is Genuine. And I'm gonna use the Sonia G Builder Pro. And I'm just gonna start to pack this all over my lid here. I wanna do some other shimmers too. I just kinda wanna see how this one laid down first and then decide what it is that I want to do. I see these women's bodies and they're so strong, and I've always been really on the thin side, and this is just me personally looking at my own body, but I'm thinking, and I'm looking at these other women, I'm like, I wanna look strong. I wanna feel strong. You know, I'm coming out of this really hard situation. I want to be mentally strong. I wanna be physically strong. And so it's so funny, when I started gaining weight, I just kept thinking it must be this weightlifting, which is actually a good thing because I was hoping to gain weight and muscle and all of that, but I'm like, it just is like my belly. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can't lose this. And now my clothes aren't fitting. So I'm like, this is super strange because I'm seeing these women with, you know, like my butt got bigger and I was like, yeah, look at me. Like I finally like have a booty. But then all of a sudden I had a larger stomach and I couldn't seem to get it to go down, and I realized I'm bloated, and I'm bloated all of the time. Like, what's going on here? But so I had started weightlifting, and I did that really consistently. And one thing that I did, that I learned in my research, is that weightlifting can also cause a lot of stress on the body. So if you are having problems with having your cortisol levels be too high, one thing that is recommended is low impact exercises. Exercising is still very important, but switching to something low impact. And everyone said walking is so important, and especially walking outside. Being outdoors in general was another thing that was on the list, like getting fresh air. I thought, okay, this is something that I think that I do pretty good at, so I'm gonna keep on it, and I'll up it a little bit. I take Aries for walks every single day, and sometimes I even, once it gets too hot to take her, I'll go out by myself and do a quick walk. I have a count step, a step count that I try to reach. My goal is is 10,000 steps every single day. So I just always have my pedometer on my phone. I started doing my yoga and my Blogilates once again, and I do 1 day of weightlifting. And I don't know if that, I'm not a trainer or anything, like I don't know if that 1 day is like really helping me all that much, but I still liked how strong my body seemed to be getting. So I'm like, well, I'll just mix in a few weights once a week, and it's not going to be the 5 times a week that I was before, and it's going to be less stress. And doing yoga, it focuses, you know, so much on breathing and so much internally. That's another thing that's on the list, is breath work, meditation. And I know some people might scoff at that, but it is a way where a lot of people can de-stress. And I've been trying to do meditation. When I go to the gym, we have a sauna and also a steam room here, and I'm going into there and doing a meditation after my workout that I do. And that I feel like helps me so much, because it's just a few minutes where my brain doesn't look like this. Like my thoughts don't look like that, right? I come out and I feel better, I feel less stressed, I feel calmer for just a few minutes of the day. I'm like, I like this green. It's not necessarily like I'm not like blown away right now. I'm not like, damn girl, you know, something like that. So we're gonna play a little bit more. I'm gonna put this one on here. This is Begging You, and it looks like it has a little bit of shift to it also. I'm gonna use my finger for that one actually. So I'm gonna use Begging You, and I'm gonna pop that right on top of the green. Ooh, so that kind of is gonna turn it maybe a little bit gold. Okay. Impact exercises, making sure to get outside more. I bought an egg swing. I believe I mentioned this in my Amazon favorites video, but I've been trying to just sit outside and read. And again, that was something that I did when I first moved in here, and then it was like, I got so busy, I was like, I just don't have time to go to the pool and read a book and sit outside. And I'm determined to get back into that and have, you know, in addition to my walks outside, just like 15 to 30 minutes to start. I love that I live in this climate now, and I have, the thing that I have to worry about now is like when it gets too hot. Taking time off, that's a hard one for me, because I work for myself. I am a solo entrepreneur. I handle my YouTube channel, my Instagram, my TikTok, my books, my emails, and I'm trying to build more of a team around me, and I have a great virtual assistant who helps me out. I actually have an interview as soon as I get done with this video. I'm interviewing someone to maybe help with Shopify and the brand, trying to be better at delegating and all of that. But at the end of the day, all of this is mine. It's my business. I'm the one who cares about it the most, and it's a lot of stress and pressure. This job is very unstable. I kind of never know from month to month what my paycheck is going to be, and that can be very stressful, especially now being on my own. I have to be able to give myself time off. You know, I used to be really proud someone to say, I don't take days off. I worked on my wedding day. I work on vacations. And I'm like, but what are you doing to yourself? And what are you doing to your health? You know? See, like thinking, it's like such like a vicious cycle. And I think with work, when I started to realize I was having health issues, my first thought was like, you need to work more, you need to do more, you need to post more, you need to write faster, you need all of these different things. You need to do more. But then I wasn't taking time off, and I was being so stressed about that. It was raising my stress levels. But then it's just, again, it's just like it goes into this cycle that it's really hard to get off of it and to get off that hamster wheel. But definitely being able to take actual time off is, it's a goal. It's a goal. I'm feeling a little bit underwhelmed by my look. Like I was trying to go for different greens that I thought were in the Limelight palette. So I'm not like doing this, because I did so many looks with that palette. So I'm like, do different things, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like an inner corner pop. Like and I love like neutral basic looks, but this one just isn't like making me feel any sort of type of way. I'm just like, okay. Like I kind of liked it better when I just had the 2 mattes down. I realized as I was like starting to do research, I heard someone say, I noticed my house looked like my mind. and they were meaning that their house was very cluttered because their mind was always very cluttered. And as someone who's constantly on her phone, constantly stimulated, constantly looking at the computer, my mind always feels like it's cluttered with information, right? I've always been a cluttery person. I mean, literally for as long as I can remember. And I don't think I give myself enough downtime to actually clean. I said that one of my goals for 2022 was to be more organized and to be more clean and just not as cluttery. And I was like, I think it really does help to be able to walk into an office and just not see stuff absolutely everywhere, because I feel like it's so less stressful and the mind is calmer. To walk into the kitchen to make something and you don't have plates and dishes and boxes and food everywhere, and like things are put away and in their own space, you don't have appliances cluttering up, and you're like, oh, this is what I'm gonna make. I feel like it sounds so less stressful. So that was already a goal that I had for myself, but hearing someone say that, and again, this is probably not the first time I've heard that, but for whatever reason, it clicked with me because it's something that I'm searching for right now. It finally clicked with me that having a cleaner space could definitely bring less stress to my life, and it could make me more organized, which then would just make me less stressed anyways. So that's something that I really do want to focus on, is keeping my apartment more organized. I'm just going to keep using that same brush, the first one that I used. And I'm going to use those two mats on the lower lash line, Open and Drama Class. Yeah, Drama Class. And I'm going to try to do like a pop of green in my inner corner and hope that I don't hate it. We shall see. I just feel like those shimmers are really underwhelming to me. I'm very bummed about this. But those are some ways that I'm trying to implement changes into my life. And how that is going to relate to my work and especially to my YouTube channel, I have a few different things that I am going to be trying to do a little bit differently. Like I said, I am going to try to be disengaging from my phone more, having times where I put my phone down, I leave it, and I don't feel this need to constantly be in my comments and in my DMs. So at least for a little while I try to get my cortisol levels lowered and under control, I'm not planning to be, it's not like I'm never going to be there, because I still want to be and I like that interaction, but it's just not going to be as much. So if I'm late responding to your DMs or your emails or, you know, your comments, just know that's why. I'm trying to take a little bit of a break there. I did also change my upload time, and this was something that I just have not wanted to do. I spoke about this in my recent Will I Buy It video, and I don't know why I've been so against trying this. But when I moved, I used to upload at 9 a.m. CST, which meant now that was 7 a.m. my time. My morning routine has always been really important to me, and it was knocking me out of my morning routine because I was trying to make sure that my video was ready to go. I was trying to be in my comment section, because I usually like to be in my comments at least for the first hour or so that the video goes up. And that was running into my morning routine. Then my morning routine was getting thrown off, and I was literally trying to look at comments like while in line at Aries daycare to drop her off, and I'm like, why am I so attached to my phone? This is craziness. And also, I've been staying up so late. I need a new laptop once again. I've been having my laptop crashes a lot, so I've been staying up so late editing videos to try to get them up at 7 o'clock in the morning in a private Facebook group, the Secret Sam Squad, and every single day we have a prompt in there. And I remember there was one day I was up till almost 3 a.m. working, and I was like, oh, you know what, it's morning, like I can write in the prompt over there and have, you know, people talk about it. So I did, and I saw someone comment and say, wow, Samantha, you're up really early. And I was like, that's actually the opposite, I haven't gone to bed yet. And I was like, okay, that's not good. That's not good. So I'm changing my upload times to more in the afternoon. 12 to 1 o'clock is like what I'm aiming to hit for, but like between 12 and 2, so afternoon uploads is one change that I'm making. I've been doing this for not quite a week yet, and I can already tell that it's helping me so much. Just when, you know, I'm trying to close my laptop around 9 or 10 at the latest. I'm till like 10:30 right now, but it's like, okay, my video isn't done. It's okay. I can wake up in the morning, I can walk Aries, do yoga, do my morning routine, and then I can sit down and I can finish editing the video, and it's fine. And I'm like, I'm the one that's putting all this pressure on myself and all these expectations. Like, I need to change that mindset. And so afternoon upload times has been really working well for me. And also I did something called a premiere. I've been trying those out. I'm gonna take this really bright pop of green here, this cereal with a Sonia G Pencil Pro, and I'm gonna pop that right in the inner corner. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see, y'all. It's just, look isn't really doing it for me. What a premiere is it's when the video goes live. So I schedule it. So say I schedule my video for 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, we can all live chat in the comments. It's kind of like when you are an actual YouTube live and there's like the live comment thread happening over here. We can chat live in there, and it happens through the duration of my video. Once it's over, the live chat is over, the video is up like a normal video. You can come anytime and start watching the video. But that's my way of doing and being able to interact with the comments, since I'm saying I'm not going to be in my comment section as much. It's like, okay, for my videos that are 25 to 30 minutes long or over, that's what I'm going to plan on doing. And then I'll be in the comment section for that time, and I am posting on Instagram in my community tab ahead of time to let you know, hey, today's video is going to be a premiere. It'll be up at this time, and then we can chat live. And then from there, I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Like, you don't have to be attached to your phone. You can go about your day. You can do other work. You can clean, whatever it is that you need to do. I've had so much fun. I've done 2 of them so far, and I thought they were an absolute blast. I was really unsure about doing them, but it's just so fun. I do my live chat every Saturday. Those are always fun, but just be live in the comments as a video is playing, so we can talk about everything right there. It's actually been really, really fun. So, you know, my list said less comments, DMs, I talked about that, less pressure on myself. You know, I'm the one doing this. I'm putting so much pressure on me. I don't know. I just don't really feel like I'm digging this look, and I have a Zoom call after this, and I was gonna film another video. I was gonna try to go to the pool tonight to read. I'm gonna do mascara and see if I like it anymore. I'm gonna use the Milani Highly Rated Anti-Gravity. Again, I mentioned this in my drugstore favorites video, so I'm gonna pop some of this on and see what we think. The mascara I think helped a little bit. I'm just like, I'm just not feeling totally spot on with the palette, which I bummed about, and I really wanted to play with some of the greens, but I was like, even from that first one, I just wasn't absolutely blown away. But it's only my first time trying the palette. I'll definitely keep trying it. I'm gonna use this Sigma highlighter in Golden Hour and just apply that to my cheekbones. These are the individual highlights that Sigma came out with, and they are so pretty. But one thing too that's definitely been causing some stress is just my YouTube channel in general. I've been talking for a while about how people have been letting me know they can't stay subscribed to my channel, and I finally was able to get what's called a partner manager through YouTube, and he referred me to the technical team, and they looked at my channel and they came back and they said my subscribe button is misbehaving. A person is subscribed to over 1,000 channels. For whatever reason, YouTube will start to unsubscribe them from channels, and mine channel is a part of this rare percentage of channels that get affected by it. And they said they haven't been able to get a fix for it, but their investigative team has been researching it. But I'm like, this has been happening to me for years. Like, I get this on a pretty consistent basis. And so it's just really hard for me because I'm like, I'm not sure what to do. I feel like I'm, you know, kind of working a job where I know that I can't succeed. Not seeing my videos aren't popping up. Like, I had someone say that she now has to search out my channel every single Wednesday to watch my Will I Buy It videos. And she says I still never show up. Like, in her, like, all these other channels will pop up for her and mine never does, even though she continually searches me out every single week and continues to resubscribe every single week. And YouTube right now is just kind of like, I don't know, you know, they're like, keep uploading like normal, encourage people to turn on notifications, because they're saying my notifications are going out 100%. I don't know if that's true or not, but they're like, encourage people to turn on their notifications, like hitting that the bell so you get notified when my videos go up, when I go live, a premiere, that sort of thing. So that's something that I would recommend. But I don't know if I should start a new channel. Like, I'm not sure if I should just stop YouTube. Like, I don't know what to do. But if it's gonna get to a point where people, like, so many people are not, the amount of times I get a comment saying, I thought you quit YouTube because you never show up anymore. I'm like, and I post 4 to 5 times a week. YouTube is so much work. The editing is so much work. The filming time is I've been sitting here for almost 2 hours. So much time and energy and effort. And if I'm working with a platform that's actively working against me, I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure the best course of action. So I actually just found that out this week. I'm gonna use M Cosmetics Kitten. I just found that out this week, and so I'm still trying to kind of process it, and at least knowing I'm not crazy, right? Helps me a little bit, but it's also kind of like, I'm not sure what I should do next. I'm just gonna line my lips really quick. But one thing that I had been thinking about doing was adding in some different content to my channel as well. At least for a majority, my videos will continue to stay beauty focused. And I love talking about makeup. I have so much fun with it. I like trying it. I like talking about it. I started my career as a reviewer. I think it's fun. But I also have so much more to me. And this has always been my struggle, especially in social media when I hear niche down, niche down, niche down. I'm like, I don't want to. There's so many things I love. That's why I had a separate Instagram account just for yoga at one point. And so I was like, I'm not sure if I should make a separate channel for like vlogs, Vegas content. I love making videos like Vegas restaurants. I really would love to do some itineraries, like you're coming to Vegas for 3 days and it's a girls trip. Here's my 3-day itinerary for you. I used to be a travel major. I love this kind of stuff. I really, really want to do that. I'm just not sure if it's a good idea to do it here or if it'll help or hurt my channel already more. I would love to do some content. Like I really want to do a video filling out my goal tracker for the month of June because I've gotten so many questions on that. So many of you have purchased the goal tracker at bysamanthamarch.com, which I'm super grateful for, and I just hope that it helps you so much. I actually gifted one to my friend here in the complex and she's like, I'm on day 3 and I'm loving this, and I was so happy to hear that. So I would really love to show like how I fill mine out, and especially with all these goals that I have for myself, I think that could be really interesting. So I would love to get your feedback there. Like, I don't know if it's worth it to start a whole new channel or just kind of incorporate here and there amongst the beauty videos, maybe like, I don't even know if I want to say 1 a week, maybe like 2 a month. If there's other content you would like to see from me, you know, definitely let me know as well. But that's something that I'm thinking about. But then just getting that news, I'm kind of like, I'm not sure what to do. And obviously, what's it doing? It's stressing me out. YouTube has been my main source of income for the longest time. So to have that feel kind of threatened, especially now that I'm on my own and now that I'm going through health struggles, definitely something that's on my mind. But after my lip liner, I'm gonna do, Ofra just came out with these new lip products. This one is in Thick with 2 C's. This is their Lip Lush. Is available now. Again, everything that I've used I will have linked down below, but I picked out the more pinky shade because I thought it looked pretty. So I'm just gonna apply that. Okay. I really like the Ofra glosses. When I first started switching more into liking glosses from Liquid Lips, Ofra's glosses were some of my first that I loved. It has like a slight scent that reminds me of like a peppermint or something like that that is more of like a plumping lip gloss, but it's not too overwhelming, and it also, I don't really feel anything on my lip. Non-sticky lip gloss, high shine, bring out the plump in your palette with just a mild tingle. Yeah, I really don't feel like, I do not like the Too Faced lip injections. That really painful tingling, I'm just not a fan of. But I like that. I can feel just like the tiniest something there. But that's a pretty gloss. Okay. All right. I am an affiliate with Ofra. My discount code is Samantha. Like I said, I'll have everything linked down below. But that's really the end of it. That was me talking about my lab results, what I'm planning to do to change my life, how that impacts my YouTube channel, and maybe some changes that you can expect from me. I would love to hear your feedback, of course, especially when it comes to the type of content that I post. I would love to know what you'd like to see. Again, maybe double check that you're subscribed or turn on the notifications, and that might help you as well to stay getting notified when I do upload YouTube videos. And again, if you're going through something and you're struggling, especially with your health, keep going, keep trying, keep talking, keep asking questions, keep advocating for yourself. I feel so much better having at least a little bit of an idea of what could be going on with me, and I feel really motivated and I feel really inspired to make these changes that will improve my life overall and hopefully improve my health and just everything. I'm so motivated to make these changes, and that's why I really want to do my goal tracker video as well and just kind of talk a little bit more about this, because our health is everything. Our physical health, our mental health, that is everything, and that always is what has to be the most important, and don't let anybody else tell you differently. Other than that though, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for the continued words of encouragement. I hope that I'm helping somebody out there who's maybe going through the same thing or just struggling with something else, but it gives you that desire to keep going and to keep trying to find help. I really hope that this conversation is helping you. This is my final look for today. I really like the new bronzer and the blush. I feel like they're just so natural. Like, I feel like my base makeup looks so natural and so pretty. The eye makeup, I'm gonna have to keep trying the palette more. I just don't really love how the first look came out, but there's 30 shades in it. I'm gonna try it some more, but again, I think maybe the Colourpop, the smaller palettes, are gonna be what's it for me. But we'll keep trying. I'll definitely come back to review everything as I always do on my channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.